I used to think losing my hair was the worst thing that could happen to me. I was wrong. My name is Leo. I'm 32. I sell electronics in a dead-end job that feels more like a punishment than a career. I live alone in a crumbling apartment on the edge of town. And I'm bald. Not the shave it clean and own it kind of bald. The sad, patchy horseshoe around the ears kind that makes people snicker behind your back. Or sometimes to your face. My friends call me shiny. Not out of affection. I laugh along, but every time I pass a mirror, I look away. I can't stand the sight of myself anymore. I used to be proud of my looks. Now, all I see is a tired, sagging face under a glistening dome of shame. I tried everything. Laser treatments, oils, diets, even praying. Nothing worked. That's when I found the post. It was buried deep in a Reddit thread titled, "Things Big Pharma Doesn't Want You to Know." Regen Felica, regrow your hair at the cellular level. One drop, one life-changing result. No ingredients listed, no company info, no FDA approval. Just before and after photos that looked too good to be true. It was stupid, reckless, possibly dangerous, but I ordered it anyway. Because when you're desperate, even a shadow looks like hope. And that was the last time I ever saw my scalp the way it used to be. The last time I saw myself as human. The bottle was small, no bigger than a travel-sized mouthwash container. The liquid inside was clear, with a faint, minty scent. I applied it to my scalp just as the instructions said, 5 drops at night, gently massaged in. The first night, nothing happened. The second, I felt a slight tingling, like tiny needles dancing under my skin. By the third night, I could swear the texture of my scalp had changed. It felt thicker. On day 4, I saw the first sprouts. By the end of the week, it was undeniable. Hair was growing, fast. Dark, healthy strands curled across my temples, my crown, even the barren patch at the back of my head. It wasn't just hair, it was resurrection. I started walking taller, smiling more. I even flirted with the barista at the cafe across from work. A small, stupid victory, but it felt good. For the first time in years, I didn't hate my reflection. I thought the worst was behind me. I had no idea the serum hadn't even finished working yet. It wasn't done growing. It wasn't done changing me. The change didn't stop. By the end of the second week, the growth had become aggressive. I was waking up with strands of hair in my mouth, coiled along my tongue like wet string. It wasn't just my scalp anymore. Hair was sprouting from the nape of my neck, my cheeks, my chest, even the backs of my hands. At first I laughed it off. Better too much than none, I told myself. But deep down I knew something wasn't right. Then it spread to the places no hair should be. The inside of my ears itched constantly. I'd dig with cotton swabs and come out with little curls. My eyes watered non-stop because tiny lashes, far too many of them, were growing beneath my eyelids, sweeping against the whites like spiders' legs. I tried shaving, waxing, even borrowed a friend's laser removal kit. Nothing worked. The hair grew back within hours, thicker, darker, more defiant. It didn't feel like mine anymore. It felt foreign, like something using me. My skin began to crawl, literally. I could feel the hair shifting beneath it. It would move when I got nervous, bristle when I got angry. I started wearing gloves and long sleeves, even in the summer, just to hide it. People stared. One woman asked if I had some rare autoimmune condition. I almost told her yes. The worst part came one night as I was brushing my teeth. I leaned over the sink and spit and saw a hair, long, black, coiled in my saliva. I gagged and coughed, but it kept coming. A thick strand tugged out from the back of my throat, slick with bile. I yanked until it snapped free and dropped into the sink, writhing like a severed worm. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I found hairs growing beneath my fingernails. I clipped them back, only to watch them unfurl like vines within the hour. My reflection had become a stranger, my face almost hidden beneath a veil of tangled black strands. I tried contacting the seller. The link was dead. The Reddit thread had vanished. The name Regen Follica yielded nothing in any search engine. It was like the product, and whoever made it had never existed. I began to wonder if I was the only one who had used it, or if I was simply the first to survive this long. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the growth stopped. At first, I thought it was over, that my body had fought back, that maybe the serum had finally worked its way out of my system. I even felt hopeful for the first time in weeks. But then I noticed the shedding. I woke one morning to find my pillow covered in clumps, the floor of the shower littered with tangled black knots. My chest was raw, like skin had been peeled. At first I was overjoyed. Maybe my body had fought back. Maybe the mutation was over. I gathered the fallen hair, wet and strangely warm, and dumped it into the toilet. I flushed, watched it spin down into darkness. Smiling weakly, I stepped into the shower to rinse it all away. But the shedding didn't stop. The water ran over my body, carrying more strands down to the drain. Hair slid from my shoulders, chest, thighs. It was like my body was unraveling. I looked down. The drain gurgled, clogged. I reached to turn off the water, but the faucet wouldn't respond. I twisted it harder. Nothing. The water kept flowing, harder now, as if the plumbing had snapped. Then I heard it. A deep, wet crack from beneath the tub. The pipes burst. Water exploded upward from the floor. The walls, even through the mirror frame. The bathroom became a tomb. Within seconds, water covered the tiles. Hair floated everywhere, bloated, undulating like jellyfish, pulsing. I turned to run, but the door wouldn't budge. I yanked harder. That's when I saw them. Strands, black and thick, twisting out of the hinges, holding the door shut. I was locked in. I screamed. Hair slid up from the floor, coiling around my ankles, my wrists, my waist. I tried to tear them off, but more came, stronger, tighter. I slipped, fell backward into the rising flood. My head went under. I fought to rise, but the hair was everywhere, twisting around my neck, snaking up my nostrils, slipping between my lips. I gasped, and the water rushed in. The last thing I saw was the ceiling light, fractured through the rippling water as strands of hair curled softly around my eyes, like a lullaby.